Hey there, golf lovers. Looking to step up your game? Let me tell you about Mollybox, the ultimate golf subscription box. Every month, Mollybox sends you a box packed with premium golf gear, accessories, and stylish apparel, all delivered right to your door. Imagine getting top-tier apparel and more, all handpicked just for you. With Mollybox, you'll stay ahead of the game and boost your performance. It's like having a personal caddy in a box. So why wait? Join the Mollybox family today. Head over to mollybox.com and use your limited time promo code ROGUE25, ROGUE, ROGUE 25 for 25% off your first box. That's mollybox.com.
Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
Everybody, welcome to What's Up Waco with Erica Boisvert, your local Waco agent. We are going to be getting into some good information about downtown Waco. We will also touch on the real estate market. That's the world I live in. Hey everybody, welcome to What's Up Waco. This is Erica Boisvert, your local real estate agent. Today, I am joined by the owners of Oak and Ivy, which is getting so much talk around the town. We had to sit down and talk to Jen and Josh Sims. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. How's it been going?
It's been an adventure.
An adventure. That's fair. That's fair. Are you exhausted?
I could use a day or two off, yeah.
It's like literally having like a brand new baby.
Yes.
More expensive.
A little.
Triplet.
Little more expensive. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. I mean, we're about a month and a half into it. We're still dealing with a few CapEx projects, but we're open for dinner 3 nights a week. And so trying to balance the two, it's always fun.
Trying to get it all working the way you need it to be.
Right.
That makes sense. But it's a really cool concept. And so I know you mentioned, and we talked before about kind of what brought this up. And when you're just driving home, right, from a winery tour, did you see a bunch of wines out there, or did you just kind of hang out in Fredericksburg?
We usually hang out in Fredericksburg.
Okay.
It's more the experience for us, the food plus, the environment.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we go for. We've got our few favorite haunts.
Okay.
There, so we don't venture out too much.
But then as you were driving home that day, something like it was just like in your head and you saw that space that you're in now, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was just a random conversation that married people have that, there's a new development right down the street from our house, and what's going to go there? What could work? What are the possibilities? I know what would work there. Wine and cheese bar.
Right.
But can't have a bar in Woodway, and so here we are.
Here we are, full-blown restaurant. Guess what?
Yeah.
Right.
It did start out as a wine and cheese bar, which is why I was okay with it.
Oh,
That's
insight.
a big adventure.
This is why I like having the husband and wife here together.
We'll talk about this later.
That's right.
You're embarrassing.
She said at first. Okay, but you've got to be loving it now.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
We've got just an amazing chef, so it is so much fun to watch her do her thing.
Well, and some of her stuff that she's like, here, send this out on the floor, let your people taste it, has ended up on the menu, like those dumplings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
People, Waco, if you haven't had those dumplings with Fresno chili sauce, right? It's worth it. I'm a wuss. I avoid peppers at all cost. And my friend did get a little bit of a spicy piece, but really Fresno chilies have such a good flavor. And then it's offset with, there's a fruit in there too, right? There's something in there that offsets it, so you're not like smacked in the mouth.
So the peppers themselves are fermented for a while to take some of the heat down and also bring out some more flavor. So yeah, there's. I think
really good.
They usually go for about 3 or 4 distinct flavor profiles in their sauces. So
she's like a saucier. She's like a killer chef.
Yeah, she's
Way
good.
above my head.
Right? Same.
she's got a lot of Asian influence as well as being from Colombia, a lot of South and Central America. And then our sous chef, our chef de cuisine, he's got more of a French background, and so that they work together well on the sauces.
It's a cool kind of fusion, like the flavor profiles that you put together, like the crispy duck breast with a mole. Like who would have thought that those two flavors would go together, right?
Yep.
But
Chef Pal thought it would, and that's great.
Well, yes, chef. Yes, chef. That's all you need to say all day long, right? Yes, chef. Okay, chef. Good idea, chef.
That's right.
It's working out. It's tasting good. What kind of reviews are you getting? I know what I'm hearing. What are you hearing?
I'm hearing great things. It's very encouraging. This was a huge leap of faith for us because we don't have a background in the restaurant industry. So you're just kind of like hoping it all works out. But hiring the right people was so key.
Huge.
And then, of course, this is mainly Josh's thing, and he's wonderful to work for. That's my favorite feedback I've had so far, actually, is the employees telling me that my husband is so good to work for.
Aww.
It's like better than just a normal, like your restaurant.
Yay, the food was good.
But all the other reviews are really good too. I think people are just so happy to have food and wine in Woodway.
Oh, yeah. Well, first, I want to jump back to like how you said Josh being great to work for. I love your philosophy that we kind of talked about, that you want to make this a good living for people. You want people who are at Oak and Ivy to be happy to be there. And, you know, with your level of business knowledge, you're really working to make that happen.
Right. So many of the industry professionals or workers within Waco are kind of fly by night. They're doing it as a pass-through job until the next best thing comes along. And I see our gateway to extracting the most value out of our employees is to create an environment where they can stay for the long term and better themselves, better their financial livelihood, be better equipped for their family. And so I'm trying to create that.
Yeah. Well, and I think you've got a great platform for it too, because that is the kind of environment your restaurant, the whole concept, is a good place where you can land and be at for a long time, because it's such a nice high end. You do need to be a certain level of server, chef, line cook, know what you're doing, and be willing to educate yourself. So it's just such a cool way to put that all together and make it livable, because sometimes that is exactly what people are living on. I lived on it for a long time. And so to hear that you're putting that much love into your employees, that's great. And Waco, it works out for you too, because you're just going to go in and see happy people and eat amazing food and drink wine that you can only find at your restaurant, right? Tell me a little bit about that.
So, with my business background, I had this idea of being able to compete in the market, enter into a market without being a direct competitor to any of the other restaurants in Waco.
Right.
There's lots of fantastic places to eat in Waco.
Mm-hmm.
If you want good Italian, I can tell you where to go. I can give you a couple options. If you want good steakhouses, I can tell you where to go. If you want seafood, I can tell you where to go.
Right.
But nobody offers what we offer. And that's really both on the food and the wine side.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's less challenging to offer the same wines we do.
Right.
But our strategy on both sides was to find stuff that's off the radar, that is a different palate experience for consumers, and put that out.
So one of the things I love about Oak and Ivy is that you do, speaking of palate and, you know, letting people experience something different, you offer wines that aren't readily available like around town.
Right.
And
that's full credit goes to our sommelier. I've been completely hands off on the wine side, and Mark has done such a fantastic job. He's just got a taste for what people like, and he finds these off the radar wines and he brings them out. And he's created this balance where the wine can pair perfectly with the food and bring out those flavors, or it stands alone by itself. And he's got such a gift.
Which is super cool. I love that you mentioned pairings, because I think if we're good talking about this, you had mentioned that you're going to start doing like a really cool idea about pairing menu. Do you want to tell us about that?
Sure. So the part of the design of our restaurant in the kitchen is the open kitchen concept, where the performance of the kitchen staff is part of the experience. It adds to the value. And so we've got 12 to 14 seats around this chef's counter where you're just feet away from the kitchen staff.
Action.
And so in the fall, we're going to open that up to a tasting menu, a 6 to 8 course meal, kind of tapas style. Each serving, each plate is a unique experience in itself, and we'll have wine pairings to go with each plate. So it'll be really the culmination of the chef's vision for what she wanted to do with that kitchen once we can roll it out.
I love that. And I think, and tell me if I'm wrong, my memory, I'm in my mid-40s, it's getting wanky on me. But I think you had said that Mark, your sommelier, and then your chef will also speak to like why they put, like, this one needs to be with this, fat, full food because it's acidic and it'll cleanse your palate. Like, are they going to have those kind of conversations?
Absolutely.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
They do anyway, all the time.
As much as they can. Yeah. Even now, if you sit at the chef's counter and you ask the chef, why are you doing that?
Really?
She'll explain it to you.
That's amazing, because I've had some chefs who don't like to talk. I might have been knocked by a knife once or twice in my restaurant life. So that's really, really cool that she's so open to that.
Well, it's part of the community feel of the restaurant and how we translate what we do in the kitchen to value for the customer. Nice. It's not just this A to B exchange of I order and I receive my food, I eat it and I'm gone.
See, that's your business mind coming in and like really looking at, well, what is the value? Why are people coming here? What are we doing differently, right?
Sure. For the X number of minutes that a person's sitting at that counter, not eating or not drinking, they can be gaining value just from sitting there because they can engage with the guy that's building the boards, the types of cheeses and the meats that he's using, or the chef who's sitting, again, just a few feet away. Why are you doing? Why these flavors? Why this layout on the plate? All this stuff.
Well, and not only are you creating an experience, like that's fully something that people are going to remember and want to go do again. You're like building into community too, because it is very small where you're at. Like you've got, Badger Ranch, Twin Rivers, maybe Tanglewood's coming in, and some of the older neighborhoods over there too, around 84. And people are already pretty tight knit over there. So you're building into that. I love this concept from A to Z. And I know you called me out once because I was talking about how much I love your wine list. And you're like, oh, you're not just blowing smoke. No, I've been there 3 times. I've eaten a bunch of different things. So I can be like truly telling you this is so fun and your concept is so cool. And going back to your point, I kind of stopped earlier, but you had said it was something that we needed, and it totally fills a void, right? Because there are people out here who love an excellent glass of wine and want to learn more, right? Have you found that to be true?
I think so, definitely. I think one of the reasons we needed it was because, like you're saying, people on that side of town, we all kind of do life together anyway, and it is so much fun to see your friends at the same restaurant that you're at.
Yeah.
And that provides just like a really positive community, strengthening for the community. So that's what my favorite thing actually has been when I'm there in the evenings. They don't need me, obviously, but I just like to walk around sometimes. But I love seeing people, oh, hi, didn't know you were going to be here. And that happens all night long.
That's great.
And that's the best. I love that.
I think that's one of the things I love about Waco in general is that it has such a small town feel. And then you guys are even on the other side, but like business owners, have you found them to be just welcoming and supportive? Because I have. I think people around here are just awesome with each other.
For the most part, yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong, but like I've noticed it's relative to other business areas that I've worked in, very supportive here. People are open to new ideas.
I would agree with that, yeah.
There we go. You guys can't see her, but Jen's giving me a yes look right now. Okay, see, it's agreeable. We can get there. There's good stuff going on in and around Waco. And so I really love, and the whole point of this show is to let people who are thinking, oh, I want to move to Dallas because it's this, that, and the other thing. Or I want to move to Austin because it has the museums, the art, the food. That stuff is here too. Like we have a ton of that in Waco. We're a little more quiet about it.
Yeah. And it's just growing too, which is a really exciting time to be in Waco. We moved here from Dallas 6 years ago, and that was our big disappointment, was it wasn't developed yet. It was just starting, and so much has happened in the last 6 years, food-wise. We're making so much progress.
Yeah, and there's still room to grow. If you have a restaurant concept or a cool business and you want to bring it to Waco, we're open. Not a wine bar, though. That's taken.
It can be on the other side of town.
Well, I mean,
it can be downtown.
There's already good wine bars in town.
There are.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite? Like, if you didn't have your own, where would you guys be on a Friday night?
We've got 2 young kids. We'd be at home.
No, with the kids, we'd be at Slow Rise in Woodway.
There you go.
And if we're on date night, I love DeCampley's.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Right.
If I could bottle the feel of the grape and recreate that, I would do it.
Oh, yeah. It's a staple in Waco.
Okay.
Love the grape.
I don't know that I've been there. Where is it? Is it on Valley Mills by Salty Dog?
Yes, right next door.
Just kidding. I've totally been there.
Yeah. They've got
fireplace outside.
They've got the best vibe.
Okay. Yes.
Smaller place.
Yes.
They have this, I would imagine about the same 30 people there every weekend, and the other folks rotate in.
Yeah.
But it's very familiar, very Cheers type environment.
True. Okay.
Which I would love to be able to recreate.
I think you're on your way, especially if you're going to open up the Chef's Bar to that magnitude. I think you're on your way. That's exciting.
It'll help once we get the patio.
Yeah. Where's that going to go?
So when you walk in, you see the bar.
Yeah.
It will be right to the right. There's a door that you can.
That other door? Okay, I wondered. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
When's that expected to be an option?
I mean, we've had one day that it wasn't 100.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to sit out there this week. Don't get me wrong.
So we're
Christmas time?
No, we're looking
October, September.
Oh, okay. Well, I still don't know if I want to sit out there in September, but on a pretty day, I'll keep it in mind.
Sure.
That's right. Or in the evenings. People like to linger at Oak and Ivy into the evenings. I think the patio will be really nice for that. Yeah.
Oh, and you'll get that city lights view.
Yes, there's a beautiful sunset.
Yeah.
You can see. It's so lovely.
That'll be neat. Are you ready for that? So that's going to be more staff, more food, more everything. So just prepping for it.
Yeah. So our next step, we're going to be rolling out a brunch on Saturdays. And then we'll have a pretty, shortly thereafter, we'll go full liquor license, cocktails and so forth. And then the patio will be open.
So you are going to go full liquor license. Is that already in the works?
Yes.
Nice. Because I remember when we talked, y'all are whiskey lovers, right? So that'll be a nice thing to complement. And I love just putting this out there. I love a whiskey tasting.
Oh, yes.
They're fun. And like, here are your 5 and here are the differences. That's fun.
And there's plenty of people that love food and wine and whiskey education. It's a total thing now. So
am I old school to be like, toss some cigars in there? Is that anti?
No, I think that's part of it.
There's a whole nother set of regulations.
I saw your face and I knew that's where it went. Nope. Don't want to deal with permitting on that one.
No.
I don't blame you.
I mean, we originally, in the whole business plan process, I looked at buying and building. One of those, the structures was a standalone kind of library type feel. That was a cigar lounge.
Cool.
But
no.
Pretty cost prohibitive.
I was going to say that's a real, you got to really, really be ready to pull the trigger on something like that. Maybe in the future. Maybe it would make sense.
Long term, the cost would have been lower just because in a location like ours, I mean, and considering it was built when it was built, it's not cheap.
No.
But I think we're realizing that this next stage of life in America, nothing's going to be cheap anymore.
No. When your gas is what it is. And I'm not going to say what ours is because if you're out of area listening, you're just going to be mad. But just trust me, it's high. It's high for us, just like it's high for you or you are. Yeah, I think we have gotten to a place where, all right, this is just where we're at now. This is the cost of things and this is the plateau and here we go.
That's right.
Right? Which always changes. That's just how it goes. It's cyclical. This is so cool. I so appreciate you guys coming in. Is there anything about Oak and Ivy or your joy of coming into the restaurant world that I've missed?
I don't think so. It was just unexpected for us. You know, you don't expect to do these things in your midlife, 40s. I'm 39, so I've still got a year left. But in our 40s, you don't expect to do something like this. It's
True.
just one of those little turns that brings risk and joy to your life and challenges you. So I think it's good for us to do risky things like this. It's fun. Yeah.
So our mission statement is to honor God by building community through good food and good wine. I think we're well on our way to doing that.
And beyond. I think building into your employees is a whole other way of honoring him. So
Yeah.
very, very cool. You're definitely on your way to that.
If my main accomplishment after 5, 10, 15, 20 years is that I was financially beneficial and emotionally beneficial as an employer to my employees, I can be happy. I can be happy with that. And I've told my employees, I am not trying to retire based on the sweat of your brow. I want your sweat to be an investment back into your pocket. And so far, I couldn't help or hope for a better set of employees. They're awesome.
It's amazing what you put out there and then what comes back to you, right? It's awesome. So service industry related friends, that's probably the majority of my friends. Hear what he's saying. If you're here in Waco and you're looking for a good place to land and be employed and willing to work, I'd imagine, and learn. I mean, you got to learn the wine, you got to learn
That's
the food,
right.
but what a great place to land.
Sure. And we've got my beverage manager, my sommelier, and my executive chef. They're all very, very willing and on board to developing their employees. So we're not holding back trade secrets.
That's good. Well, and it's, it's just, it's a cool place to land. Like Restaurant Family is its own fun little thing. And it's always, and to have you be so invested in your people is kind of that component that's missing in other places. So very, very cool. So not only excellent employment, delicious food, hard to find wine, beautiful scenery outside. The inside is lovely too. Oak and Ivy is one of the places to check out in Waco. Definitely only been around a little bit. What are you at? Like 4 weeks? 5 weeks?
We're at week 7.
Week 7. Good gracious. Okay. Well, if you haven't been there yet, then you're just slow on the uptake. Get your butt over to Oak and Ivy, grab a glass of wine. I personally recommend the duck and the dumplings, and the flourless chocolate cake. You're silly if you don't order that. But Oak and Ivy is the place to be Thursday through Saturday in the evenings. And keep an eye on what would you say? What's the best way to reach you? Instagram,
Facebook,
Okay.
Snail mail, phone call. You can come by the house if you want.
Josh said just reach out, just however you can. A message in a bottle will get it done. But in the meantime, check out Instagram, Facebook, see what Oak and Ivy has coming up. Be on the lookout for their brunch. And you guys, you're missing out if you're not there. Get it done. Go to Oak and Ivy. Thank you so much for coming in and chatting with me about your concept. I love it. I'm not lying. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I really enjoy it.
Thanks so much, Eric.
Thank you. Do you have a topic you want to talk about? Do you have questions about Waco, the real estate market, how to sell your house, what to look for when you're buying a home? Send me an email, ericasellstexas@gmail.com. Shoot me a text, 254-447-0180. Happy to chat about it. Find me anywhere you listen to your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com.
Hey there, golf lovers. Looking to step up your game? Let me tell you about Box, the ultimate golf subscription box. Every month, Box sends you a box packed with premium golf gear, accessories, and stylish apparel, all delivered right to your door. Imagine getting top-tier apparel and more, all handpicked just for you. With Box, you'll stay ahead of the game and boost your performance. It's like having a personal caddy in a box. So why wait? Join the Box family today. Head over to mollybox.com and use your limited time promo code Rogue25, Rogue, ROGUE 25 for 25% off your first box. That's mollybox.com.